would you like to be one of these guys or their family for all time? Check this out. The conspirators to overthrow the North. Wilkes Booth, Mary Surratt, George, Lewis Thornton, Powell, and Dr. Samuel Mudd. For all of time, his name is Mudd. That's where the phrase came from. So Tom, an amazing moment just happened here. What happened?
One of your 300,000 subscribers.
375,000.
375,000 subscribers just recognized you and asked, do I know you from somewhere? And it was from the YouTube channel.
Isn't that amazing? And you're the only one here to see that.
And it's just true.
And Abe Lincoln.
And Abe Lincoln.
I wish my kids were here. They're not here. Oh. Ask Tom what happened.
One of his 300,000 subscribers just asked me. Yep.
Olivia, ask Tom what just happened. Jess?
As God is my witness, I don't say that often. There was a couple here, and they said, we know you from we're followers of your YouTube channel.
No way.
I swear, if I'm lying, I'm dying. It was like...
Did you record it?
No, but he recorded me vouching for him. It literally just happened right here. Right, there was a couple of them.
He kept staring at me.
We may see them again in the theater.
Yeah, he kept staring at me. And then he goes, walk over here. I walked over to him, and he goes, I know you from YouTube. He's like, I watched your travel videos.
I swear.
Tom was my witness. Yep. I told you, Abe Lincoln saw it.
I am a neutral tour guide. I am Switzerland. I am... Mrs. Lincoln, as a courtesy to Mr. Ford, sends by courier a note down to Mr. Ford saying we're going to attend a play this evening. That will allow Mr. Ford to announce in the afternoon newspapers that President and Lincoln and General Grant will be here this evening. Mrs. Lincoln assumes that General and Mrs. Grant will, of course, accept her invitation. Two problems with that. Mrs. Grant doesn't like Mrs. Lincoln, and they had already had plans to go out of town to visit their children in Trenton, New Jersey. So they're going to leave town. That's going to put Mrs. Lincoln in a bind. She's got, believe it or not, back then, culture was a little bit different. A married couple could not go out into public unattended. They had to have another couple chaperone. So Mrs. Lincoln must find a couple to chaperone. And she's going down the list, and everybody's saying, no, I've got other things to do. And
that says a lot, by the way. No one wanted to hang out with her.
It says a lot about Mrs. Lincoln, but it also says a lot about the celebrations that were going on that day. April 14th, April 9th, Lee had surrendered to Grant, so everybody thinks the war is over. Throughout Washington, there's all sorts of fireworks, celebrations, parties, barbecues. Everybody's making plans. Everybody's going to go see their friends. Everybody's celebrating, so they just necessarily don't have time on their social calendar to go with the Lincolns. So she goes like 14 down the list is a senator's daughter, Clara Harris, and her fiance, Henry Rathbone. So isn't this rich? Culturally, a married couple had to find a engaged couple to chaperone them to come to the theater. So Mrs. Lincoln, in the third act of the play, goes to hold his or her husband's hand, and she says to him, "What will Miss Clara," their attendant, "what will Miss Clara think of us acting so?" And President Lincoln says she won't think anything of it. So Mrs. Lincoln, PDA, and yet she feels she has to say something to her husband, like, should we be doing this?
Okay.
Should we have this intimate thing going on, right?
Holding hands.
Yes. And what will our young chaperone think about that?
I'm married, but married?
Married couple, you had to, any couple.
Was shot. That's where he died, right? Yeah. That's where Abraham Lincoln died. Oh, that you're proud of me. That you're like, I'm proud of you. Nope.
He was a very famous guy. What's the most famous Hollywood guy you guys like now? I used to say Brad.
Compass, Signal Whistle, Pocket Pump.
Those were on Wilkes Booth.
Yeah. And then here's something culturally different. So these carte de visite, these photographs later. Now, what's interesting about that is culturally, if back then photography was so rare, you give them your carte de visite. That's Boots. So Dr. Mudd had to cut that boot. You see the hole in it, he had to cut the boot to get it long enough to set.
Hole in it to cut it off.
Booth and Harold, their first stop in Southern Maryland.
That's his actual booth.
Just like in the shop, I'm going to show you that.
That's his actual booth.
Those are, they're picking those up. They're secreted pads, surveillance pad, used to bound the prisoners. We always have a muscle man, and that's Lewis Powell. He's going to be assigned to kill Secretary of State Seward. David Harold, who's going to guide Booth out from here. Lewis Powell,
Lewis
campaign.
Powell, the handsome one.
Yeah, well, you can. He's handsome, but so is John Wilkes Booth. So she is the owner of a boarding house here in Washington, and also a tavern in Southern Maryland. Those weapons will be picked up after he was found handsome, well-known, very popular. Not on Booth News. This cartoon here definitely depicts, is fairly accurate, how close Booth had to get to Lincoln. Was assigned to kill the vice president, but got liquored up and lost his courage and did not do so, and ran from the town. At Dr. Mudd's house. Dr. Mudd is a guy you know, this person. Dr. Mudd is immediately dropped in the box.
You suck.
He didn't have to. He's in a playhouse. This is where it works. This is like seeing
She saw it.
theater.
This guy. This is Lincoln's opera glass case. Those are the tickets to the concert that, or the show that night. That's the playbill.
And that flag, we're going to see.
It's the flag that Booth's foot got stuck on.
Sort of rips, maybe it was over.
Yeah, right over there's a rip.
What we do know is that he had a broken leg by the time he got to that door wedge is the bottom of a music stand. Booth had secreted that in the box. The box had two doors. You open a door, shut a door, and then there's another door. So he puts himself in this like ante-room, and he wedges the door that he
So that's the door.
wedges that
That's
door
the
shut
wedge.
with the wedge. So that's, and then he's going to peer through that hole. You see the old doorknob hole?
Yeah.
He's going to peer through that hole. If you can imagine,
And that's the blood from his head on the pillow.
There's Clara Harris and Henry Rathbone, for those of you that are romantics and determining like who was the couple that escorted them. Now years later they got married, but they had a horrible ending. They had PTSD over this event.
Sure.
He ends up murdering her, going mad. Yes, it's a sad ending.
And the actual door, where he used to peek through it. John Wilkes Booth peeked through that hole.
I'm sorry.
Like break the door.
Collapses as these guys are working. 22 people died. And so they got it again, and then they make it work. And then they have
Go down here, take some seats all together, and also sit here. I'll run you through. He gets to about where that railing is. One of the president has a valet here. John Wilkes Booth gives him his calling card, like a business card. Again, culturally different. The president did not have security around him. He was accessible.
You could even just walk into the White House.
You could just walk into the White House and just bang on his door. President Lincoln, most every Tuesday, would spend the hours of 9 a.m. to noon just standing there at the White House, shaking anybody's hand. Or as a Shakespearean actor many times, again, actor and stunt all in one guy, right? Furniture, but that is the rocker that the president was in to the right. There's a cane chair to the left that Mary Todd Lincoln would have sat in. Clara Harris would have sat in that upholstered chair to the left, and Major Rathbone is on the couch in the back.
Where's the door?
The door, you see the yellow door?
Yeah.
Enter that one. Music stand, wedge that one shut, and then 4 or 5 feet beyond that is another door that you saw down in the museum. Does that make sense?
You want some going to there?
Well, he actually, again,
Worked here.
there's nothing out of the ordinary about John Wilkes Booth being here. In fact, it's very ordinary. It's like going to see Dad at his office. Like, of course he's there. Sits up there in the presidential box. Everybody sits in the seats that were.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yes. Anyone said those?
I'm sorry? No, nobody sits there either. And that's hearkening back to Mr. Ford was trying to sell those for $10 a piece and no one bought them. So there was no one that night in the opposite luxury boxes.
Okay.
there was no simpler.
It's funny, as that's happening, it did happen. Like, the people were genuinely like, we know you from your YouTube. So he's like, oh my God, my wife's not here. She'll never believe it. Blah, blah, blah.
So this is where John Wilkes Booth murdered President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. About to show you where it was. And then we are in Ford's Theater. Right there. Oh, you're with me. I got Livy with me.
It was actually had a divorce and one of the most famous sources.
So this is the stairway, only stairway up here that Abraham Lincoln and his wife walked up, and John Wilkes Booth walked up as well. Watch.
He came to Forest to pick up his mail, and he found the Ford brothers ecstatic. He was shot.
So when he was shot, there's a young doctor that came to the scene and found that he wasn't breathing. So he was really dead right then. So he breathed life to him through CPR and discovered more. So at that point, that young doctor.
This is how Lincoln walks in, right in those doors. Where Lincoln was carried across the street that night. He never left this building before he passed away. Just a typical Sunday. I'm sitting here outside the house where John Wilkes Booth had assassinated President Lincoln. And he died like 18 hours later, right outside this house. Going up.
Hey.
Going up where they carried President Lincoln's body where he's still.
You folks want to just wait at the base of the stairs? We'll be right back here.
This is the room in which Mary Todd Lincoln spent most of that evening on the death watch. She was inconsolable. She was generally not allowed to see the president, who was in the background. Secretary of War Stanton, your favorite, was running the government from this room here.
Okay.
You don't see a lot of the original furniture because that was lost in history. This is kind of
So it is a little confusing. You will see a bed in the back parlor. It is a boarding house. That is not where Lincoln passed. It's the second bedroom down the hall.
Okay. Did anybody lose the bracelet?
Yep.
I always touch the paper.
So the paper is not original, but that is the size and shape of the bed. This is the room that Lincoln was comforted. I should say he died at 7:22 the next morning of a mortal wound. But this is the size and shape of the room in which probably 8 or 9 people were in when he passed away. I hate those. Hate those.
The deep ones too.
You look like a
I think I look good.
not bad.
What do you think? Can I get it?
I think you could do that too.
Can I get it?
Hey, you want to see the Tower of Lincoln books? This is now you know the secret. They are plastic facsimile tower.
The Lincoln Tower of books.
Not solely based upon gravity and holding our breath.
It's our last video. We're back home to Minneapolis. So everyone, how did we like Washington, D.C.? Was it the Bob?
It was not.
Would you come back again?
Yeah.
With a New York? Yeah.
Very cute.
All right, we loved it. Peace out. We done. We out.
I was born with a chance to be somebody. I'm gonna be the most famous man in the whole world.
Mr. President, the Confederacy is dead. The Union is saved. The war is over.
What happened? The president's been shot. Witnesses were saying we're John Wilkes Booth. Wait, the actor? I'm a symbol.
How does a well-known actor commit murder in front of an audience of 1,500 people and escape?
Find the man that killed my husband. God bless America.